Welcome back to another Excel tutorial. Today we want to explore how to use the VLOOKUP function. VLOOKUP, which stands for vertical lookup, is an Excel function designed for searching a specific value in the first column of a table and returning a value in the same row from another column. It's particularly useful for finding specific data within large tables. As you can see, the VLOOKUP function belongs to the group of reference functions and will search down the first column of a range for a key and returns the value of a specified cell in the row found. The syntax goes as follows. It starts by a VLOOKUP, open parenthesis, VLOOKUP, comma, table array, comma, call index number, comma, range lookup. By the way, it's not comma, it's semicolon, but inside this syntax, it's written with a comma. And the explanation to the syntax: lookup value is the value to search for, and this is the value the VLOOKUP function will look for in the first column of your table. The table array is the range of cells that contains the data, and VLOOKUP searches for the lookup value in the first column of this table array. The column index number is, you do this after locating the lookup value in the first column. Then VLOOKUP returns a value from the same row based on this index number. For example, if you specify 2, it returns the value from the second column of your table array. And last but not least, the range lookup. This is optional. It's an argument that specifies whether you seek an exact match by setting this to false, or an approximate match by setting it to true or omitted. For exact matches, VLOOKUP will only return a value if it finds an exact match to your lookup value, and for approximate matches, it will return the closest match. So all in all, VLOOKUP simplifies data retrieval by automating the search process, making it an essential tool for managing large data sets in Excel. I would say we just do a quick example that you can see how the VLOOKUP function works. As you can see, we have two tables. The first table contains row ID, order ID, our customers, the sales and the quantity. Our second data table contains the order ID, the seller, and the discount on this order. So if we now want to have the seller and the discount in the first table, we can use the VLOOKUP function, and we will start by an equal sign followed by VLOOKUP, open parenthesis. And now Excel is saying, give me the lookup value, please. So what could be a good lookup value that both tables contain? And it's of course the order ID, because it's the same in the first and in the second table. So I'll select the first order ID, and in order to drag it down later, I will fix my column C, so Excel knows, please stay in column C and just go down another row, then in row 11, 12, 13 and so on. Now we have the lookup value that we want to look up. Now Excel needs the table array where it can find the order ID if it exists. So we will mark the whole table for our table array. And now we want to fix the table, of course, because we always want to look in this exact table. And if we drag the formula down, otherwise this will change. It will go to like D21 or D22, and it will just move to other data, and we don't want this. And we can do it by clicking Fn, F4 in my case on Mac, but you can always do it with F4 also on Windows. Exactly, so now we fixed the table array. And now we want the column index number. What is that? The column index number is the column where Excel should return the value that we are missing in our data. So in this case, the column index number of our table array, order ID would be 1, seller would be 2, discount would be 3, and if here would be a column, it would be of course 4 and 5 and so on. So we want to have the seller inside our data up here. So we are saying, okay, please return value 1, 2. And last but not least, we can choose between an exact match or an approximate match, and we only want to have exact matches. So just if Excel finds it, then give it to me, otherwise give me an error. So we'll do it by 0. 0 always stands for false. Then we can close the parentheses and we hit enter. So now we can see this order was found inside this table and it returned max because this order belongs or is the same as this order, and it will return the second value, so the second column value, which is max. We can drag this formula down and you can see, for example, for Michael, we have this order ID, which belongs to this order ID, which is Michael's, and we have this order ID, which is the same as this one, and Excel will give me Michael. Now we have one order ID, the last one, which wasn't found inside this table array. And this will happen like most of the time if you use the VLOOKUP function, and we can do something about it. This is where the if error function comes into the game. So we just start by an if error, then we open the parentheses, then we have the value, and if this value is true, it will just return the value. But if it is like an error, it will return, or it should return, in this case, for example, seller not found, and we can hit enter. Okay, now we have the same formula. Now we have the formula inside our last row, but not here. And we can drag it just up again, and you can see it won't apply on the rows where it already has like a value found. The if error function only applies to rows where an error exists, and therefore it will return the value that you can specify inside the function at the end. Okay, looks pretty good, I would say. And now we can do the same for the discount. So we will start by an equal sign again, followed by lookup, open parentheses, and we have to choose the order ID again, of course. We will fix the column with a $sign. So fixing always goes with a $sign, semicolon. And now we want to have the table array again, of course. We can fix this one as well by clicking F4. Oh, this wasn't good. Now we can do it again. Okay. Now we want to fix it by F4 and this one as well. Semicolon. Now we want to have the column index number, and this is the only thing that changes here. Instead of giving column index number 2, we now want to have the discount, which is in column index number 1, 2, 3. So we'll type in 3. And we only want to have exact values again, so we type in 0. Closing the parentheses, hitting enter, and we can drag this down as well. Okay, we can see that it worked perfectly fine. Again, we can now, of course, change the format of it by just clicking on the percentage sign right here. It will return the percentage values. And for the error value, so this wasn't found, we can, of course, use again the if error function. If error, then we say, for example, no discount found, and we can close the parentheses, hitting enter. And now you have to remind to always drag it up again so that the formula applies to all rows. Now the data format will change again, but we can just click on it and set it to percentage again. Yeah, I hope you liked this video and you got a good understanding of how the VLOOKUP function works. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up and follow, and see you in the next video.